Hiya! Welcome! Got a pretty big box here that's got two special types of Funko Pop in it. From the size of it, those of you who are seasoned collectors might be able to guess what sort of pops are in here. And it does actually say one of them on the box, because it's one of those shipped from Vietnam actual Funko boxes, so I'm trying not to show you that. And I feel I might have shown you already. This is from Zinga Entertainment. There's two pops in here. Zinga are a UK company. I have used them before. I'm also an affiliate with them. So if you want 5% off a purchase of anything at Zinga Entertainment, then go to their website, zingaentertainment.com, and put in the code JimmyBarnesYT. That's all one word. I think it can be capitals or lowercase, it doesn't matter. Or failing that, you can click the direct referral link that's in the description text box. And while we're on about the description text box now, please also check out my Patreon, Facebook group, and other Funko related referrals. Alright, let's get this open. So this purchase cost me, I think each pop was £20.99? £20.99. Or was it £21.99? No, I think it was £20.99. Didn't take long to come, as they never do from Zinga. One in here I've been wanting for a while, I've just not pulled the trigger on it. The other one was a little bit more impulsive, but it goes with the first one. So I thought, why not? I'll get them both. Have a look at the packaging, it looks good so far with plenty of paper on top. Also an invoice, which I doubt I'll need again. Some extra cardboard in there, and the pops have come bubble wrapped as well. And there was even a bit of, like, it's not polystyrene, I don't think, it's that funny stuff that's on the bottom. It's protective, whatever it is. Alright, chuck all that out the way. Hopefully you'll have seen the intro, and I didn't have to remove it due to the copyright Gestapo, so you'll have a good idea what these are, and plus from the thumbnail as well, if nothing else. Right, let's get the first one opened. First time I've bought any of these in quite some time. I'm trying to think of the last one I got. I think the last one of this sort of pop I got was from Zinga, actually. Actually, I'll get them both unwrapped, just so that this area is completely free of protective packaging. I'll show you this one first, as this is what came before the other thing in relation to actually real life, etc. It's a pop album, it's number 33, and it's Michael Jackson's Thriller. This was actually the one of the two pop albums. Yes, the other one, I'm sure you're going to know what that one is. This was the one that was a little bit impulsive, because I don't actually own this album. What I've tried to do with pop albums, because initially I was trying to collect them all, and I'm so glad I stopped doing that, because there's some that's come out, like there's a Disney one, and oh god, there's like some really weird ones, Dolly Parton. I'm not even including like the deluxe, those massive ones, which I do like, but they just would be a nightmare for me to display. Even though I don't have the album Thriller, I thought, well, I'm getting the other one. They've got them both in stock, so why not? There's Michael Jackson there. Obviously, he replicates as best he can the pose on the sleeve. So Thriller, arguably the biggest album of all time. That is there even any argument about it. It is one of the best-selling albums ever. Came out in 1983, if my memory is correct. I don't know if you can see, but he's there sort of lying down casually, like he is on the sleeve. I've never actually listened to the whole of Thriller. I must be one of the few people on the planet who's never heard all of Thriller. I'll have heard all the singles off it, and there was a lot of singles, as there was for the next album as well. So while I don't tend to like to get the pop albums, which I don't own actually the real album, I thought, well, it's a nice one this, it's iconic, and I may well end up picking up Thriller on vinyl most likely at some point in my life, and it's just a nice figure. It's the usual pop album fare here. It's got the Michael Jackson Enterprises, I think, logo on there. You can see a rendition of the pose on the side. Another look at the album sleeve on the back. So impulsive, but it goes with the other thing, which was the main thing that I wanted. And Zinga seemed to be the only place that had it in stock, from what I could see anyway. And it was good to use Zinga again, because it'd been a little while since I'd last bought from them. So you know what the next one's going to be, and this one goes all the way up to number 56 in the pop album range. This is Bad. Now this does hold proper nostalgia for me. Bad was, I believe, the first pre-recorded proper album I ever owned as a child. It would have been 1987 Christmas probably when I was bought this on cassette. And I do still own the album now, not on the original cassette that I had. I've got a vinyl copy of it. I think it was some VCLT from Not Suitable for Mum, actually. So it was some time ago, a couple of years at least. Thank you, Jason, for that. There he is, watching over me, as he always does, with his squinty eyes. But yeah, this was the one I wanted, really, and I thought about just getting this, but I was able to split the cost into 3 payments if I purchased both of these. Plus the postage, it would have been, you know, £45, give or take. I do like the album. I used to be a big Michael Jackson fan, although I never owned Thriller. I had Bad and Dangerous, and I really liked those albums, but after kind of 1992, 93, my music tastes were changing. I did sort of follow Michael Jackson's career to an extent, but I never really collected any more of his albums or bought any of his singles or anything. By sort of a couple of years after Dangerous, I was sort of over it, really. But Bad's a great album. People say it's not as good as Thriller. I think it's down to a matter of personal taste, really. Load of good singles off Bad. I enjoy listening to the album still today, all these years later. Bit of a look at it there. So he's got his sort of leather jacket with kind of like white studs or jewels on. Once again, it does a pretty good job at replicating the pose. To say you're quite limited with Funko Pops, just to the nature of their design, as to how authentic you can get an album pose replicated in pop form. But really happy to have this, although I think both look great, and some people might think the Thriller one looks better, and that's entirely up to you. I'm particularly glad that I got the Bad album, as it seems to be one that's a little bit more difficult to get than Thriller at the moment for some reason, and it's an album I grew up with and listened to loads when I was growing up in the late 80s into the early 90s. So there we go, nice simple unboxing today of 2 Michael Jackson pop albums, Thriller and Bad. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed this Funko Pop unboxing. Of course, with there being pop albums, can't get the actual figures out, wouldn't want to particularly because the old acrylic case and everything. It does come with cellophane that I'll take off later on, and I have also got some special album size pop protectors from All Things Vinyl. Referral link for them in the description, by the way, what I'll be putting these into before I display them later. So that's it for me. Thank you especially to my wonderful subscribers and generous patrons. I'm going to go now, do everything that I said I would, maybe even put Bad by Michael Jackson on. It is still the only Michael Jackson album I've got in my collection. As I say, years ago I also had Dangerous on cassette. I'm trying to think if that might get a pop album release. I'm trying to picture the sleeve. Maybe. Some nice nostalgia here, particularly with this one, but Thriller is a massive, massive seller, an iconic record. I probably will end up picking it up one day. I've seen a couple of different versions, like a 40th anniversary reissue, and I think it's out on MoFi as well. Some of that stuff ain't going to mean much to non-vinyl community members watching this. Glad I've got these. Thank you, Zinga, and I do hope that all of you will join me again next time for my next Funko Pop unboxing. Cheers, everyone. See ya!
Your birth is mine, gonna take you right. Just show your face in broad daylight. I'm telling you all of how I feel. Gonna hurt your mind, gonna shoot to kill. Boy Scouts, rough games in short.